Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be learning how to make these shorts. So if that's what you're so much interested in, continue watch and don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you. So the first thing to do is to mark your length from your waistline. I started from my lower waistline. From your waistline, you mark the length of your short, wherever you want your short to end. That's what I marked. Mine is 12 inches. That's what I used. I don't know how long you want yours or how shorter you want yours. So I'm going to mark my hip measurement divided by 4. Now, if you want your own to be somehow loosed, you can add to this. You can add 1 inch to it so that your short will be loosed. Then from that, I'm going to mark my crouch depth. To measure your crouch depth, sit on a flat surface. When you sit on a flat surface, you measure from your waist, that's where your short will be starting from, to the flat surface. That's for your crouch depth. So I used 8 inches for my crouch depth. Then from that 8 inches, from my waist hip line, I marked 2.25. That's my hip divided by 4. My hip already, that's the 9 inches already divided by 4. That's what I marked extra for the crouch length. That's the outside that. And I now curved it with my curve ruler. So I'm going to mark the same 11.25 on the length of my shorts. If you want yours to be lesser than that, you can. Then from that side, I'm going to mark 9.5. Then I go in by 1.5. That's how much I want that length to be. 1.5. That's the attachment I added over to that place. Then I'm just going to use my straight ruler to connect it. Then on this part, I'm going to go by 1.5, and I'm going inside by 2 inches. I'm going to curve it. The curve at that part. This is it. So after curving it, this is for the front part. Then I'm going to come down by 4 inches. Here, after sewing it, I said I would have come down by 3 inches. So when cutting yours in that area, come down by 3 inches. That's for the band. I used 4 inches. You can use 3 inches for yours. So I'm going to go ahead to label everything so I don't get confused. I have the attachment. I have the 1.5 and the 2 inches, and also the 9.5 I came down with. Then the next thing is to measure for the back. So I'm going to extend the crouch depth, the crouch line like that, and from that place I'm going to mark 4.5. That's half of the quarter of my hip line. Then I'm going to rule a straight line, come out by 2 inches on that side, 2 inches down to the crouch line. Then I'm going to use I'm going to use my hand to curve it to form the back crouch. So that's how I cut my shorts. My trousers, the same thing. So after that, I'm going to label it. That's the back extension. And the next thing is just going to cut. Just watch what I'm doing. Cut it out like I labeled it. That was why I did it that way, so I don't get confused myself. So you too, you can do it same way so you don't get confused. So on the front one, this, and I came down by 1 inch at that band side. I came down by 1 inch. So I'll continue cutting. Remember, I cut out the front and the back together. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just going to place it on my fabric, the fabric I'll be using. But before that, I'm going to mark the pockets for the front. I went in by 1.5 and I came down by 5 inches. Yeah, I came down by 5 inches. I'm going to connect it with a straight line. It will be slanted actually. So now that is it for the pocket, and I labeled it too. So I'll just mark. I added 1 inch on the hemline, half-inch on other sides, 1 inch on the hemline and by the side, and half-inch on top. I did not add any allowance on the crouch line. So I'm going to do the same thing for the front. But before then, I'll cut out the back extension that we added, so that I'll make sure that I'm now cutting for the front. So then the next thing is the pocket side. It's either you cut it out or you fold it in. But I'm going to cut out mine, because after cutting it out, I used the sellotape to tape it back together.